Well, hello there, boys and girls. Another day, another read aloud. And especially on this beautiful day. Like, we've gotten really lucky for the spring break that most of the weather's looking pretty awesome. So, if you get a chance, like I said yesterday, to go outside, ride your bike, draw on the sidewalk with some chalk. I've seen some amazing artwork all over the sidewalks during all this craziness. So if you're able to, go ahead and get outside. But if you're not able to, like I believe tomorrow we're supposed to have a little bit of rain, my suggestion to you would be to maybe read a book. So the story I chose for today, thinking about possibly getting caught inside tomorrow, and a couple other times this week where maybe the weather's not so great, the story I decided to choose was I Can Read with My Eyes Shut by Dr. Seuss. And I love this story because who doesn't love to read a good book? And it seems that even the Cat in the Hat does. Although, with my eyes shut, I'm not so sure. I don't think I've ever read a book with my eyes shut, but are you ready to read with me? Alright. So like I said, today's story is I Can Read with My Eyes Shut by Dr. Seuss. I can read in red. I can read in blue. I can read in pickle color too. Probably know what pickle color is, right? It's definitely green. I can read in bed and in purple and in brown. I can read in a circle and upside down. I can read with my left eye. I can read with my right. I can read Mississippi with my eyes shut tight. I don't know if I believe him. That'd be pretty tricky. I can spell Mississippi with my eyes shut tight. Mississippi. But I don't think I could read it with my eyes shut. Mississippi, Indianapolis, and Hallelujah too. I can read them with my eyes shut. That is very hard to do. I completely agree. I don't think I'd be able to do that. But it's bad for my hat. It makes my eyebrows get red hot. So, reading with my eyes shut, I don't do an awful lot. So I guess it is hard for the Cat in the Hat. Even the little cat's a little worried about him. And when I keep them open, I can read with much more speed. You have to be a speedy reader, because there's so much to read. We know that. There's so many books out there that you can choose from to read. It's insane. But that's a good thing. It means you're always growing your brain. Whether it's fictional or non-fictional, you always got something to be interested in. You can read about trees and bees and knees on trees and bees on threes. I'd like to find a book where you could read about knees on trees, because I don't think I've ever come across one. Trees maybe, bees maybe, even knees, but these two, I don't know, maybe you can make a book. You can read about anchors and all about ants. You can read about ankles and crocodile pants. Love it. He's right. There's literally so many things in the world that you could read about. Like we've talked about fantasy and real. You can read books that are about stuff like baking. I like to read recipe books and learn how to make certain meals. But you can read about all sorts of things. Sports, even boating, right? And your body, right? All sorts of things. You can read about hoses and how to smell roses, and what you should do about owls on noses. I think it's so funny that he starts out with something very normal like a hose and then even flowers, and then he changes to something so crazy and strange. Like, who would want to read about owls on noses? Probably not me. Maybe somebody, but doesn't really pique my interest. Young cat, if you keep your eyes open enough, oh, the stuff you will learn, the most wonderful stuff. You'll learn about, and here he goes up the hill with so many books. So I wonder what other things he's going to talk about. Fishbones and wishbones, and you'll learn about trombones too. You'll learn about Jake the pillow snake, and all about Foo-Foo the snoo. I don't know, man. I don't think I want to learn about him. He is a little creepy. But the rest of them, maybe. Maybe Miss Sweetster could teach us a little bit about some trombones. Maybe she has some books. You can learn about ice. You can learn about mice. Mice on ice and ice on mice. You can learn about the price of ice. Nice ice for sale. 10 cents a pail. You can learn about sad and glad and mad. There are so many things you can learn about, but you'll miss the best things if you keep your eyes shut. He's right, you know. It's very important that when you're reading, you're always paying attention, because the moment you might doze off and close your eyes, you're going to miss so much. The more that you read, the more things you will know. The more that you learn, the more places you'll go. I think the Cat in the Hat means that you can go different places inside books, right? We kind of travel when we're in books. You can go to anywhere that they might be, whether it's this crazy kind of place like in Seussville or somewhere totally normal like your hometown. But you can also learn more and go places further, right? Go to high school, go to college, get an awesome job doing fun, cool things, whether it's working on cars, cutting hair. There's all sorts of things that you can do, but being able to read is really important to do every job. You might learn a way to earn a few dollars, or how to make donuts, or kangaroo collars. Ooh, I'd love to learn how to make I'd love to learn how to make a little more money, but I also like to learn how to make maybe some donuts. Be pretty good. I don't know about kangaroo collars. I'm not sure that would be in any use. I don't know many kangaroos. You can learn to read music and play a hut-zut if you keep your eyes open, but not with them shut. See, even we have to learn to read music, right? I'm sure Miss Sweetster would know a little bit more about that, but when you play an instrument, you actually follow different kinds of notes on paper. And if you don't know what those notes mean, just like if we don't know what the letters of the alphabet mean, we can't figure out the words. If you don't know the notes, you can't figure out what sound you need to make, what chord you need to hit, what string you need to strum. So, it's very important. Learning to read not just words, but maybe even notes if you're really into music. If you read with your eyes shut, you're likely to find that the place where you're going is far, far behind. So even here, he's driving down the road, and if he can't read, he's not going to be able to figure out what all these signs say, and he'll never know where he's going. It's really important. We kind of talked about that in the beginning of the year, right? Knowing that when you're reading, it's really important to recognize words mean something, right? Whether they're telling us where to go, who people are, it's It's important. It gives us information. So, that's why I tell you to keep your eyes wide. Keep them wide open, at least on one side. The end. Like I said, I love the story because I think reading is super important. We learn to do it when we're young. We start off and we start to learn how to read, and then later we begin to read in order to learn, right? We might pick up a book. We've read books about penguins and bats and all sorts of animals, and we didn't know any of that information until we started learning about them. So I think with books, they open a whole new world of possibilities, right? And that's exactly what the Cat in the Hat is trying to get the little cat to do, is read as many books as you can about many different things, and you'll always grow your brain. It'll take you to new places in life, and it'll take you to new places in your mind too. So I think reading is so essential, which means it's very important in order for us to grow as learners and as people. Which brings me to your book challenge for the day. So my book challenge for you is simply this. If you're up for it, go find your favorite book. I don't care what kind of book it is. It can be a really well-known book like Where the Wild Things Are, or Pete the Cat, or Goodnight Moon, whatever your favorite book is. Go get it and read it to one person in your family. That's it. Read it to one person in your family. If you want a super challenge, if you really want to go above and beyond, here's my second suggestion. Not only do you read your favorite book to a family member, it can be your little brother, little sister, mom, dad, aunt, uncle, grandma, grandpa, doesn't matter. Then I want you to go on Epic or Raz and choose a book that you don't know and see if you can read that book to somebody. You think you can do it? Because the more we learn to read, the better we become learners and the better we become people, right? So think about that as you do your next reading, whether it's your favorite book at home or a brand new book that you've never read before. And if you'd like to send me a video or a picture of you reading, I'd love to get some of those submissions and see you guys really taking ownership of your reading skills. So I'm very excited to see what you guys come up with and to see what amazing readers you guys are becoming, because I haven't been able to hear you read in quite a few weeks. So it would make my heart so happy if I could hear you. So send it along, and I hope you guys enjoyed the story. And I'll be back on tomorrow with another read aloud for you. So have a great night, and let's keep reading together. Bye, guys.